Okay. So the first word of the demoniacus vama chant, O-R-I-Z-X-S. Second word, G-Z-H-Z. Third word, E-V-U-Z. Fourth word, D-V-S-O-R-X. Fourth word, Y-V-O-V-G-S. Well, the fifth one is the name, but they all start with capitals. So let's go. Orizix, Gzaz, Avaz, Devsorks, Yavamgas, 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 Orizix, Gzaz, Avaz, Gzav, Avaz, Devsorks, Yavamgas, Orizix, Gzaz, Avaz, Devsorks, Yavamgas, Orizix, Gzaz, Avaz, Devsorks, Yavamgas. So I'll start in a different place right now. People typically call on the kings or do works against them in the first half of the morning and the last half of the afternoon. F through major through A minor, or G major, is the traditional solar tone. B minor, mode 7 and 8, Hypolidian, is the O and A for the sun. You know, the O and A musical scheme. 126.22 hertz is a B, A1, 449.9 hertz over 440 hertz, plus 38.1 centimeters. The eighth under octave. 118.3 beats per minute. Some scents that one would look at is acacia, angelica, bay, bergamot, chamomile, cloves, dandelion, frankincense, cumin, lemon, rosemary, safflower, St. John's wort, sunflower, lemongrass, locust, marigold, mistletoe, myrrh, orange. And James Donahue sees Beleth related to Revelation 6 and eschatology. So and says that it appears with dark eyes and a small downturned mouth, with only and partially hidden by some horizontal object, could be in some sort of a building or craft, a slight form to its head and body, and it leans against a black square, another indication that it has a, that it may be in a craft or some sort, or a building. Wine in a bowl when a triangle can't be formed. Ding, 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 ding. For some reason, some people wouldn't be able to form a triangle during their rituals. John R. King 4 saw Beleth as a grim reaper. V.K. Jehannem says that it's shy as a female, cold as a male, is over insecurity and paranoia. Its numbers are 28 and 8. Demon of storms, and one of the few gender fluid entities. Another shape-shifting related entity, to the form of another person. Stephanie Connolly says that it's something to ask in terms of long-term relationships. And to ask about love. Michael W. Ford says it brings desires into flesh. And your typical grimoire says that it's a mighty and terrible king over 85 legions. If you gold, I used brown to make the symbol clear, but used a different version of it. A silver ring on the middle of the left finger. I don't know, I have one. So, held to the head. Oh, wrong finger. A triangle from the southeast, east, and up, with a hazel wand is what your people draw. And they say that all sorts of music precedes him. The pseudo-demoniarchia Daimonium says that Ham's son Noah invoked him after the flood and wrote a math book. Gods and Monsters.com said its true form is a queen, and I will explain why I agree shortly. And of love of men and women until satisfied is one of the common, it supposedly brings about love of both men and women. It appears as a knight on a pale horse with trumpets. And it's the same process of protection as a Maimon Order of Powers. Oriz, Gazhez, Ev, Az, Dev, Sorks, Yavavgus. And my first experience that I had doing a ritual very specifically and explicitly in regards to this one is from 2011. And in 2011, from 9:13 to 9:41 p.m. on Tuesday, the 24th of May. But let me share some of the language before I get to that point. Bah! Swell, spring, grave, gushing over heap, swelling up. Bull, flow, nothing, none, not, nor, less, neither, no, effort. Acquainted, maybe. Belete, except, nones, except, but, save, nothing less, no, from, in, as much. Bilet, ulcer, when, flowing, lesson. Boule, flood, food, stock, overflow. Be, need, empty, sorrow inside the hand, excuse. Oh, alas. Ba, fill, void, enter, entry. Buth, cracks, broken into pieces, crevices. But, lodge, house, tent, a standard of measure. Boot, pass the night, lodge. Beat, house, household, home, dungeon, place, prison within, temple. And in the Hebrew, Beleth, project, protrude, projection. And as promised, dream filter, I guess. 9:13 to 9:41 p.m., Tuesday, the 24th of May, 2011. I felt downward press of a cool, I felt a downward press of a cool, heavy mist. The mirror glowed with streaks of halos coming out. Something slithered and fluttered in a blank space in one of the colorful clouds above. I felt a gentle tugging at my flesh. To rift me. I'm not sure what I mean by that. I felt the warm arising as I saw a deep, dark color of what I couldn't distinguish flying above. I felt a crushing down. And let's turn to 2012, shall we? But one of the things that I think I should start with when I turn to this bit from 2012 is the language. Because you will find things that you may not realize when you look at the language of these things. And one of the things that a person might realize, when you have words that end with a ta, or a ha, or a th, you're more likely to have a female. So that is plenty of reason to agree. Wouldn't you agree with what has been said before? Bilet, except but none not less nor. And remember, there is the sigillium. Tablul is a cataract or a blemish. Belil is a fodder, corn. Provender. Bool is a flood or stock. Tabul is habitable. Tabul is also confusion. Tubal has some connotations that you may know. At is a plow, mark, an ox moving towards a mark, a sign, a coulter. At is in, upon, against, with. Ba is fill, void, entrance. Ba, in, with, by. Ath is a charmer, or softly. Ath, corral, gentle. Luth, cast, wrap, covering, mirror. Latha is a lizard. Latha is also a lizard. Oh, by the way, if you've seen my Geico video, there's different types of lizards on the property, apparently. And that was just the green type. The red and blackish type is here, too. Latha and Litha are lizard. Lath is feed. Loth is cover or secret. Ath is charmers, gently, secret. At is time, season, where, always. Leth is secretly, privily, cover, veil, authority contained, enchantment, softly. Belil, Fodder, mix, mingle, confound, anoint. Blue is tribute. And here we get into the, I think that's it. Let me double check. Bowl is a flow. Ba is a swelling heap grave. Excuse the weird expressions I make sometimes. I wasn't born making some of these sounds in language. But Latin, that deals with the Beleth. Latio, a bearing, a bringing. Latao, to lie or concealed, lark, sulk, keep out of sight. Latens is joyful, glad. Lata is joyful or gladly. Bulo is to bubble. Bula is also a bubble, but a boss, a knob, a stud, well, one thing that happened with humans was Neanderthal spoke about 40 sounds, and anatomically modern human speaks over 200 sounds. And trust me, they're all in there in English somewhere, because there's technical terms. And boa is to roar. Boya is a collar. Baletus is a mushroom. Bilis is gall or bile. Beleu is a beast, especially of a large size, or a monster. Beleuatus is embroidered with the figures of animals, so like a children's blanket, I guess. Bellow is a wage to carry on war. Bilet is finely, prettily, neatly, excellently well. Belteas is a girdle belt, shoulder belt, girder belt, a woman's girdle. Ballio is a worthless fellow in the pseudolus of Plantius, hence any worthless fellow. Balatus, I sometimes miss some of the comments if I turn my head, but anyways, the bleating of sheep. My goat and my sheep sounds get confused, so I don't really try much. Beia, a town on the coast of Campia, famous as a place of holiday resort. Theon is a notorious, sarcastic person mentioned by Horace. And on to the Greek, we have Beltistos, the best, noblest, or Beltion, or Belteros, is better or noble. Yes, all these processes are to complete the trapezoid, as one is saying. And that's one of the things I do with my studies, is I'm trying to move what is there along and maybe figure out something somebody else hasn't. Balia, or Balutus, is a counselor. B is a need, empty, sorrow in the Aramaic. T is Y. Thea is a goddess. Thea, okay, another variation of that term. Thea, a seeing, a looking view. Spectacular, a sight. Bow, cry, shout, roar, haul, call to, praise. And bleato is to cut out honeycombs or to take honey. I forgot, from the ancient Aramaic, we have that eyeball and that, the basket thing. So that would be a rat or a bird of prey, see and contain, a talon. But let's turn to an experience here from May 23 and from 2012. The verses I used also included Psalm 38:12, Proverbs 17:17, Matthew 7:22-23, very important one if you really understand it. Luke 11:14-20. And from Quran, I also added 3:19 and 53:9. And okay, so 9:07 to 9:42 p.m. May 23rd, 2012. The Ting Shaw's scene thing that's generally made out of 5 metals with certain symbols on it sometimes that for some reason tends to be tuned to the delta frequencies. The mirrors seemed more sharp-edged. The mirrors seemed deep like a room. The mirror remained full of a green pattern cloud that extended a little beyond. It felt like something immense was over the whole of the north and the west. I became hypersensitive, starting with a spot between my shoulder blades. It to a feeling spread. Oh, it extended to a feeling spreading over my head and down me entirely. The greater intensity of feeling spread over my head and down me entirely. I became more energetic. I was tearfully happy. My cheeks were wet after the ritual. There were jagged appearances of patterns. I felt fuzzy. I know I'm a white male, but I mean like bare fuzzy. I felt strong burst of vibration within me many times. My attention extended further and further out very fast as I closed. The increased sensitivity seemed to completely wear off around 10:27 p.m. So that would have been 45 minutes after the ritual closed. So none of this Golden Dawn banishing the techniques of banishing the states of ecstasy here. But so we got that one here and that one there. But the ancient Egyptian is going to be the next linguistic clue that we have. We have ba er the. So in Exodus 14:1 and Numbers 33:7, Balt is said to be a consort of Baal-Thbun, Beltis, and so we got Numbers and Shemut, that's Exodus 14:2. But okay, what was my experience? Oh, that's another experience for somewhere else. But this would have been Monday the 21st. Monday the 20th of May, 2013. And Shemut 14:1 through 3, Bamdaber 33:5 through 8, John 21:15-18, Proverbs 17:17 through 19, Psalms 38:12, Matthew 7:21 through 23, Luke 11:14 through 20, and from Quran 3, 118 through 120, and 59, 4 through 10 would have been verses that I may not usually use. Beltia is, I think, what Poke Runyon mentions. But anyways, 10:02 to 10:41 p.m. My eyes flowed with tears in the dark and silent calm of the room. Green splotches appeared in different spots. I felt pressed down upon. I saw golden sparkles. Things got brighter. I could hear and feel a rumbling in my chest. It bounced into my head and poured down my body with a tingling. I was totally loose. I sat back up again, and then it hit me again, but not as hard. I sat up again. It hit me even softer, and I stayed up that time. It felt really good and warm as I closed. My sense of feeling returned, my sense of normal feeling, returned at 11:08 p.m. And so that's it with that. But the Sixth Enochian Key, think to yourself how this might refer to what one is turquoise. Turquoise is going to be the meditation stone, but let me take a smooth stone to lay it down. But let's start with the Enochian meditation and consider whether or not these things refer to what we are doing here. The spirits of ye fourth angle are 9, mighty in the firmament of water, whom the first hath planted. A torment to the wicked and a garland to the righteous. Bring unto them fiery darts to than the earth,
and 7, 6, 9, 9 continual workmen, whose courses visit with comfort the earth, and no in government, and continuance as ye second and the third. Wherefore hearken unto my voice. I have talked of you, and I move you in power and presence, whose works shall be a song of honor and the praise of your God in your creation. Ga Satiel Kiss Mikauzo Pilsen Sobam Melharg Mirk Babalon Od Oblok Sambelg Dlagar Malperg Arkauska Odakam Kanal Sobol Zar Fableard Kaske Odkis Anitab Odmiam Taviv Ada Darsar Saul Peth Ben Britta Od Zakam Gimikalzo Sab Haath Trean Ea Ea He Odekrin Mad I felt pressed down upon from the east. There was movement on both the north and the south side of the stones. In between and around over it, forming the figure of an 8. Or an infinity sign. Was in red, mixed with pink. A rushing hit me, wiping pain away after the pressing. And if I don't get any questions before I go, Fitharzi Vom Sarg, peace be upon every one of you.